In September 2018, I decided to rescue a pony from an auction to prevent them from shipping to slaughter. Simon was one of those ponies that I was looking at. He was only being bid on by a kill buyer, which meant if no one outbid the kill buyer, he would have shipped to slaughter. But we stepped in and we outbid him. I bid on Simon from out of area, so I didn't even see him in person before purchasing him. When he arrived, he was extremely scared of people and would run away. If he felt cornered at all, he would start to lunge at and try to bite people. He didn't want anything to do with people, and while he was well fed and wasn't skinny, he was extremely neglected in terms of his handling and care, and did not trust people at all. We started to try to build trust with him just by sitting around his stall and offering him treats. Initially, he wanted nothing to do with them, but slowly he started taking the treats and realizing that we weren't going to harm him. Once he was willing to approach us and take treats, the next big thing to work on was trying to get a halter on him so that I could get him halter broke. Without wearing a halter, he was very hard to move to his paddock, and we also couldn't get him started on important procedures like vaccinations with the vet or getting his feet trimmed by a farrier. He would need to be halter broke for this, so that was the number one priority after the initial contact. I started to get him used to the halter by encouraging him to put his nose through it and feeding him a treat when he did. Eventually, this allowed me to get the halter all the way on, and with the halter on, I was able to start his halter training and teach him how to lead on a halter. Once he was halter broke, it meant that he could go out in the bigger field with my other horses because we didn't have to worry about never being able to catch him again. So this opened up his world quite a lot and allowed him to start doing a lot of other things. Simon had it. Aww. Once he was halter broke and comfortable around people, the next big thing to work on was getting him used to wearing a saddle and bridle so that I could get him started under saddle and work towards having him be able to be safe enough to have children ride him. Being a medium-sized pony, he was best suited for children. However, as a small adult, I was a safe size to start him under saddle safely so that I could get him the training he needed to become a kid's horse. I taught him how to be comfortable carrying a rider, walk, trot, canter, and then as he gained more experience, I started testing fun things like riding him bridleless and bareback because I knew that this was something that kids would want to try with him eventually, and I wanted to make sure he would react safely.
He says, I'm willing.
I also free jumped him and lightly started him over fences under saddles so that he was prepared for a kid to get started with him eventually. And then from there, I was able to find him a leaser of a 12-year-old kid who would get him started and kind of finish him over fences and get him used to packing around a kid. The rider I found was a young girl named Devon, and I had already known her before, and she is an exceptional rider, especially for such a young person. So her abilities to bring him up and train him were a lot more than the typical young rider, and she was the perfect choice to finish his education.
You two sharing the water while Leo's running away. How cute are you two? Pickle, sometimes I just think you're playing enough. Oh, Simon. Yeah, Leo left you. He's like, I'm out.
It didn't take very long for Simon's lease to become permanent when there was an offer to purchase him, and since then he has been with the same family, getting developed by Devon as a show pony and developing his confidence over jumps as well as on trails and at horse shows. He has become an exceptional pony through her guidance and has done all sorts of great things and really developed his form over fences, and he has become quite the show pony. He is completely unrecognizable as an auction pony anywhere he goes, and no one would know his history just by looking at him. I think that Simon serves as a great example of the talent that you can find in the auction pen. He almost shipped to slaughter, and his story could have been a lot different, but in being saved, he was able to showcase his abilities and show off the talent of horses that were bought for cheap amounts or at risk of once shipping to slaughter, showcasing the fact that auction horses have lots to offer, and you could very easily find your next show horse in the auction pen. Approximately 100,000 horses shipped to slaughter in North America each year. I think this number being this high really highlights how many unwanted horses there are and how bad the overbreeding problem is in North America. This is why it's so important for people to, first of all, not breed horses that aren't in high demand, and secondly, ensure that they are training their horses to be useful and have talents that help them find homes long term. In Simon's case, the training was the most important part of rehabilitating him, because the more he can do and the more suitable he is for kids, the more desirable he is. So in training him, we increased his value to well above what meat price is. Giving horses the education that allows them to be handled and ridden by many people is what helps keep them safe long term from ever landing in these bad circumstances. And this is something I'm really passionate about and something that I hope to continue to do when I'm able to rescue more horses. Changing the lives of horses like Simon and watching them go from being once super difficult to handle and disliking people to loving people and being able to do lots of things is something that's very dear to my heart. And it's something that's so rewarding to do, to watch their lives change and watch them change other people's lives as well. You can follow Simon and Devon's journey on their Instagram or their YouTube channel, which are both linked in the description, and you can support our endeavors in continuing to rescue more horses in the future by supporting our merch store and other aspects of Milestone Equestrian on YouTube by subscribing to us or joining our Instagram or our Patreon channel. All of these things help with the funding to take on more rescue horses and help change the lives of horses in training. Thank you for watching, and consider a rescue horse for your next horse.